So, good morning.
Good morning.
Today we're going to do no foam rolling and no therapy ball work. We're going to do some things that I think we did a little bit of in Newport, which we're going to do some nerve glides, which is kind of more the slidey, glidey sort of theme. And then we're going to do a lot of the fascia flossing, which is the resistance stretching, and we're going to do some mobility work. So it's very few props today, mostly just like something to prop you up on your seat if you want, like a block or two. But otherwise, we're just going to go kind of in a different. We're going to go kind of in a different direction. So let's start. We're going to start with upper body because I always start with lower body, and I feel like I'm going to run out of time. So let's start this morning with upper body. Let's come to a tabletop position. And let's do some cat-cow. We're going to change our hand positions. So you want your knees underneath your hips, and you want your wrists and your hands underneath your shoulders. And curl your toes under, because I do like to be able to have you stretch your fascia there in the bottoms of your feet. Plant your pinky fingers and pull your thumbs into the midline. I really want you to stretch out the webbing of your hands. And then claw the mat with your finger pads, right? Your finger, the top of your finger there. And then spiral your right hand slightly to the right and your left hand slightly to the left, right? This is your position for a tabletop. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chin. And exhale, round, tuck, and curl. Press the mat away like you're mad at it. Press with your knees, press with your hands, dome your spine. Okay, do a couple more rounds just like that. Not a big claw, it can just be a small claw. You just want to engage your hands. It'll take some of the pressure off your wrists. All right, so let's dial the right hand to the right and the left hand to the left and do the same thing. Drop the belly, tuck and curl. We're just going to do some mobility work, and then we're going to do some nerve glides for the upper body. All right, now you want to dial your hands back as close to the fingers being pointed straight back to your quads as possible. I like to do a little mini bend and extend here. You feel that? And if you can, press with the base of your palm by your wrist. We're gonna kind of unwind a lot of the computer work, the mouse work, the holding a tennis or a pickleball, racket work, that sort of thing. And then you can do your cat-cow here if you've got the flexibility. Nice big breaths. All right, so let's take a break and just sit right back, hips to heels. I want your toes to be curled under. This is toe crunch. We're just taking a break here. Okay, you can circle out your wrists in one direction. You can circle them out in the other direction. We're going to do some work here today with the nerves that innervate the hand. Come back to tabletop and put your backs of your hands down. Spread your fingers wide like a starfish. Press all 10 fingers into the mat. Your palms are facing up. So you can make some circles with your shoulders over your hands with your palms facing up. You can make a fist and then open. I'm literally just making a fist and opening my hands, right? You should really feel my right hand is a lot, especially through my thumb, is a lot tighter than the others just because my texting and swiping with my right thumb, right? Yeah. All right, let's just release that. Untuck your toes to sit back and shake that out or make some circles. Let's make a fist and just make some figure eights with your hands. And then change direction. Okay, so we're going to be seated, or you can do this standing, or you can be sitting on a chair. I'm just going to prop myself up on a block, just because it's a little bit more comfortable. And we're going to extend our arms out in front, and you're going to do your palm facing forward. I want you to take your right hand. I have my left hand extended. I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to take my pinky finger, I'm going to pull it down to the floor and then back towards my body, but I don't want my fingers to curl. So you want to avoid the curling of the other 3 fingers. And then go to the ring finger, doesn't have to be a lot, and then down, and you have a slight bend in your elbow, And then your thumb, you can just kind of change position and just bring your thumb down to your forearm. And then come back and do the other side. I can already feel a huge difference in my right arm. I'm right hand dominant. I can't even straighten my arm here, so I'm not even gonna try. That's okay. I'm gonna pull down with my pinky finger and pull it back towards my body and try not to curl my other finger. Oh, those fingers, they really wanna curl. All right, and just rest your...
Need my distance glasses.
You feel...
I'm just leaving mine on.
You feel that? Kind of...
Yes.
Wow. It kind of goes all the way up. You're gonna feel all these nerve pathways that go all the way up, that kind of go all the way up your arm. Feels good. Okay, bring your arms out like a T. Bring your palms forward. Tuck your thumb, and then wrap your four fingers around your thumb. And then you're going to extend your thumbs out to the side like you're holding 2 jugs of water. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And pull with your index finger on your thumb, and then release. And then you're just extending and releasing. And we're just stretching the muscles in the forearm. We're really focusing on the forearm here. And pull down like you're pouring out a pitcher of water. Okay, and then open your hands up. And this time we're going to put the 4 fingers in. You're going to put your thumb on top. You're going to do your palms up to the sky, and then you're going to rotate and bring your fist towards your face, and then release. This is a lot harder for me. So this would be the inside part of your wrist and your forearm, just really tight. Yeah, you feeling that? Relax your shoulders.
Yeah. In my left side.
What's that?
I feel it in my left side a lot.
Yeah.
I'm on the right for me.
Mine's on the right. Okay, and then just rest that down. Now, I feel this in my neck a lot when I do this in my neck. I have an injury to my neck from like 25 years ago, and I'm gonna have it forever. And there's certain things that I do, and I work it, and it kind of goes right up to my neck. And so we're gonna do some stuff for that. Okay. So all right, let's do a nerve glide and see if we can kind of get into that neck arm nerve. So stand up, and I forget which actual nerve this is. I don't know if you guys really care. Yeah, this is the radial nerve, the nerve that kind of comes up and goes through and goes to your thumb. So here's what we're gonna do. Your palms are gonna face in on your side. You're gonna drop your right shoulder down and slide your right hand down without your head moving too much, with your hand coming down. Then we're going to rotate the palm to face out. It's gonna inwardly rotate the shoulder. You can take your left hand and rest it on your shoulder if you want. And then you're gonna flex your wrist so that your palm is facing the sky. So that if I handed you something, you'd be able to hold it in your palm. And then you're just gonna bring your arm away from your body and then come in. So your options here are to bring the arm behind you, or to add, bringing your left ear towards your left shoulder. So we're shortening and we're lengthening. So right now our radial nerve down to our thumb is shortened. Now we're gonna lengthen that radial nerve. So the palm is facing up. You can bring your arm out to the side, or you can bring your arm slightly out to the back. And then just kind of let that go. You don't have to do a whole lot of them. And I'm gonna take my right hand, I'm gonna bring it onto my left shoulder. I'm gonna depress my left shoulder. I'm gonna rotate my thumb to the back of the room. That will inwardly rotate my shoulder, and then I'm gonna flex my wrist, which I can't do very much on this side. And then I'm gonna just start by bringing my arm away from and I feel this path going right down the inside of my forearm. That's exactly what I want. What we're doing is we're flossing. We're shortening the nerve, and then we're lengthening the nerve. And then I'm just gonna slowly bring my ear down to my shoulder. just to add a little bit of length to this radial nerve. You're still trying to bring your fingertips, your fingers up towards your shoulder with a nice flat palm. All right. So just kind of sit back down. We're just going to do one more nerve glide here. For our ulnar nerve, for the nerve that innervates, that comes down and goes on the other side of your forearm and goes towards your pinky. So I'm just kind of resting and I'm sort of assessing here, and I just feel almost like just activity right on this line going right from my thumb and my forearm. Feels really good. Okay, so we're going to do Batman. So you're going to make an okay sign. You're going to flip your fingers and put your 3 fingers underneath your jawline, underneath the bone here in the bottom of your jaw. And then you're going to rotate your thumb pad up and try and get it on around your eyes. You have to take your glasses off. Take your glasses off. And then I want you to relax your shoulders. Tuck your chin, lengthen through the crown of your head. Don't let your shoulders shrug up to your ears. And if you want, you can wave your elbows down in a way. You can kind of wave your elbows a little bit. It might just be like a couple inches. And our goal here is to get the flat part between the base of the thumb and that outer part of that wrist to be flat on your face. It's a nice big stretch. And then release and just rest your palms to face up on your lap. You guys feeling that? That's an easy one that you can kind of do throughout the day. You should, and this is for your ulnar nerve, the nerve that goes to your pinky. So you want to do it again? Okay, so come again. Another way that you can do it is you can kind of shrug your shoulders up a little bit and get into a position with your torso that you don't really want to be, but you've got the base of the thumb up there, and then you sit up nice and tall and tuck your chin.
Okay.
Can you see me? Yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. You can see what I'm doing here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman. Like when little kids, when kids were little and they used to try to be Batman, right?
There we go.
This is a good one. You can do this one and take a break. You can do this one all throughout the day. It's a real easy one. You should, and it's going to be nice to open up the wrist and the forearm. Really good if you're playing tennis, you're playing pickleball, you're playing golf, and gripping anything. This is a really good thing to do throughout the day. It'll help with your wrist flexibility. Okay, let's do our wrist bind. So bring your forearms out in front, your arms out in front. Cross your right forearm over your left. Clasp your hands so your thumbs are down and your pinkies are up. Now, if you've shrugged your shoulders up to your ears, relax your shoulders down. And keeping your hands together, your palms together as much as possible, you're going to inhale and come in and exhale and pull out, okay? Now, if your palms come apart, that's fine. Maybe you can only go to here, right? So maybe you can only extend your arms out to here. If you're really flexible, you're gonna come to your full extension. You're gonna hold, relax your shoulders, and then you're gonna take your thumbs and you're gonna pull them down towards the floor. And then come in. And we wanna floss. We want to go in, we want to go out. We're taking the nerves and anything else that lengthens and shortens, all the muscles, everything in there, right? All the connective tissue, we want to kind of floss it and glide it in and out and in and out. And then rest. That was right forearm on top.
Yep.
Now we're going to bring our arms out in front. You're going to put your left forearm on top. Clasp your hands. And you do the best you can. Maybe you can only come into here and then extend. And then come here and extend. And I promise you, if you set an alarm or put a little sticky note on your computer, if you have a desk job, and you just remind yourself to do this periodically through the day, you're gonna gain range of motion really, really quickly. If it's easy for you, keep your palms together. Extend your arms with your palms as close together as possible, and then relax your shoulders. You've got your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over hips, and you're gonna pull on your thumbs down towards the floor and kind of hold it there without hyperextending your elbows. You always want to have a little bit of a bend in your elbow. And then slowly release. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so let's just do a little bit with the upper back, and then we're gonna get into some resistance stretching, fascia flossing for the upper body. So you're gonna need your block or a ball or a towel, something. So your feet are flat, they're down at the bottom of the mat. You're on your back, and I want you to hold on to your block. Your arms are out and they're in line with your shoulders. My block is in my right hand. My left arm is straight, the back of the hand is on the mat. I'm gonna take my straight arm, I'm gonna come all the way over. If I have to lift my head and my shoulder, I'm gonna put it in that block on the left hand, and I'm gonna come back out like a T. So let your head and your shoulder and your torso lift as much as it needs to. Kind of go back and forth. Nice big breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then you can kind of play around with it and see if you can keep your head on the mat, how long you can keep your head on the mat before you have to lift. So we're stretching our, we're getting some mobility into our thoracic spine, right? That's your kind of around your shoulder blades. It's a kind of a hard place to really stretch. So just do a couple more passes. I think it feels really good. And then set your block up. Don't set your block off to the side. We're gonna sit on your block. So you can do this seated, you can do this standing, you can do this seated in any way that you want. Hang on. Wanna go out? Okay, so now we're gonna get into our resistance stretching. And this is where I'm gonna get you into a position. And I like to sit on a block. I think I'm going to put the block on its medium height, just so that I'm comfortable. This is our resistance stretching, where we're going to engage a muscle and we're going to elongate it at the same time. This is going to make changes to the structural fascia, which in turn is going to do all these releases that will help change the flexibility and increase the flexibility of that particular muscle. So I'm breaking down a very complicated scientific thing. Okay, let's get into our eagle arm wrap. So let's bring our right arm under our left arm. And you're either going to connect the backs of your palms, or you're going to connect your palms together. Or you can grab opposite shoulders if you don't have the flexibility. So right now our left arm is on top and our right arm is on the bottom. So to engage, we're going to plug our arm bones, our upper arm bones together, and you should feel your upper back kind of engage. We just want to engage those muscles. And to elongate, we're going to lift and bring our elbows up and keep squeezing your upper arms together, and then we're going to round forward and bring our elbows down towards our belly. And then we'll come back to our starting position. We're going to plug the arm bones together, and we're going to lift, and we're going to rotate down. We're going to elongate down. And we'll do one more. You can actually do the whole thing. Just push down with the top arm and pull up with the bottom arm and lift, 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 lift. Maybe you can get a little bit more room. Think about lifting your elbows, not arching your spine. And then round forward. And then release. Oof. Now we're going to put the left arm under and the right arm on top, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do the other side. So first we engage. So we squeeze the arms together. The top one is pulling down, the bottom one is pulling up. And I'm going to just think about lifting my elbows. And then I'm going to come down, I'm going to pull my rib cage back, bring my chin to my chest, and bring my elbows down towards my belly button. So do a couple more passes. Lift, and then round. And then you want to let the engagement go so that you can kind of think about a starting position. and then we lift. Maybe you can lift a little bit more, and then pull your belly button back, pull your ribs back, round your shoulders forward, bring your elbows down maybe a little bit more, and a little bit more, and then slowly release. Great, just let that sink in, see how that feels. I like that one. Okay, so we're gonna do our half kneeling floss. So I'm going to show you two ways to do it. Left knee down, right foot forward, and you can pad your left knee. But let me just show you something. If you're always padding your knee, and we're looking at bringing the left elbow outside your right knee, you can do this seated. And you can bring you can sit any way you want, and just bring without being on that knee, right? And you can accomplish the same thing. So it's totally up to you. So I'm going to do mine seated, because I think in every other video I'm doing it kneeling. So your feet can be, just put your feet nice and wide on your mat, and bring your left elbow outside your right knee, and then you're going to bring your right hand on top. And you're going to plug your left arm to the left, you're going to pull with your right hand, and you're going to bring your hand down towards your hip, maybe your fingers towards the mat, and your chin comes to your collarbone. And then you're going to come back up to your starting position. So what I'm working here is I'm working the muscles behind the left shoulder, right? So I'm going, without my right knee moving position, right, I'm going to try and engage it here. I'm going to plug my wrist back, and then I'm going to resist. So I'm resisting with the bottom, with the left hand. I'm pulling with the right hand. Pull, 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 pull. We're targeting the structural fascia, and what we want to do is we want to floss it. We want to glide it. We want to start and sweep, and start and sweep, and start and sweep. Okay, let's go to the other side. So it's not a long hold, right? We're doing dynamic stretching. So now my right elbow is going to go outside my left knee. You can do this seated. I've worked with people where we've just been seated, and we're like, okay, we don't really have any room to do this resistance work, and there's a lot of stuff you can just do seated in a chair. So left hand on top of the back of the right wrist. I'm going to plug the right wrist back and feel the muscle over here behind my right shoulder blade. And I'm going to resist, and pull and pull and pull and come down. And I'm going to let all that go and come back up to my starting position. We don't resist in both directions. The magic happens when you engage a muscle and then elongate that muscle while it's under tension. And this is what makes lasting changes in flexibility of that muscle. Keep doing, keep flossing and keep going through. Because we're trying to eliminate the dense fascia, right, that is directly related to how this muscle, the health of this muscle and how it's working. Okay, great. Let's do one more thing for the upper body, and then we're going to move on to the lower body. So let's come into our child's pose, knees, tabletop, knees under hips. Forearms number 11, palms are flat. So your forearms are going to be like this on the mat, right? Starting position is shoulders over elbows. I like to curl my toes under because when I shift my hips back, I want to stretch the plantar fascia in the bottoms of my feet, and it just feels good. Plus, I want you to pull your heels into the midline so that you're really stretching that joint on the big toe. It's good for it. Okay, so the engagement is you're going to take your elbows, push them down and drag them towards your knees. And then the elongation is that you're going to round your spine, pull your sternum up to the sky, wrap your shoulders forward, and then you're going to shift your hips back to your heels. And then you're going to let all that go and come up to your starting position. Drag the elbows, round the spine, pull back. Drag the elbows, round the spine, and try to link the movements and make it nice and fluid. It's supposed to be, think about flossing, right? Gliding. Good. And then we're going to move the elbows over to the right. So the left elbow is going to be doing this work here. Keep your knees where they are. Take your elbows, drag them down, and then shift your left hip towards your left heel. So what we're trying to do is to hydrate the fascia here, because when the fascia undergoes any kind of trauma, which could be literally an accident, like a ski accident or a car accident, or you fall and slip and you fall, whatever. There's actual trauma, could be emotional, physical, spiritual trauma. Anything that's kind of stuck can really affect the quality of our connective tissue or our fascia. And when it dehydrates and it dries out, let's go over to the left. Bring your elbows over to the left. So when that happens, drag your elbows back, and then we're thinking right hip towards the right heel. This dehydrated fascia isn't in a position to send the signals from the brain and the central nervous system to the muscle in order for that muscle to be able to do what it needs to do. It's sending false signals, it's not sending enough signals, it's not sending signals fast enough, it's just unhealthy. And so what we're trying to do is to hydrate this tissue. It's like a dried out sponge, right? We're taking like the oil can or the water and we're trying to hydrate that tissue so that it can do its job. Okay, so take a break from that. And all I want you to do is lie on your back, find a comfortable position, and we're just going to take a break for about a minute. Okay, so that's the end of our upper body, and after about a minute break, we're going to move on to the lower body. Maybe rest your palms face up and just feel some activity in all 5 of your fingers. Maybe you feel some activity down down in my forearms. My forearms are very active right now. There's a lot going on. It feels really good. You can rock your head from side to side and feel some good mobility in your neck. We've opened up the back of the shoulder, did our nerve glides, which directly affect the neck and the whole arm from the neck down to the hands. Okay, rock your knees to one side and press yourself up.